All right, good evening, Alpha Omnia. This is Bishop. I finally got my first TCC challenge run. That's the just for fun one. But I've been experimenting here and fiddling with it and putting it all together. Let me go ahead and mute that, or at least turn the volume down a little. All right, so I didn't run the microphone with this because what I was actually doing multiple attempts. I was actually trying Ultimecia, Agrias, and Setzer, and I got so close. I got them down to like one of them to 2 and one of them to 1%. I was a bit early using Ultimecia's burst for that, and I just couldn't replicate it. I just kept getting mauled. So I was like, all right, Sephiroth, he's going to be able to bring the damage here. Because the problem with Ultimecia, she would run through Setzer's fixed dice debuff. That's why you see me waiting here for turn 5, because I had gotten so just adjusted to holding off on Setzer's buff to try to push Ultimecia so far back here. So I'm not going to be aggressive with the rainbows here. The big thing I'm looking for right now is I'm watching the recast bar on these guys, because what I was wanting to make sure, or what I was really hoping to make sure wouldn't happen, was I would get caught with sleep and bringing that into the next fight. So that's where I'm kind of right now, just trying to whittle all these guys down as quickly as possible for this. So I see B is kind of where he is. So I'm holding off with that because I was, like I said, I'm more worried about the recast bars right here. So that's why I was trying to decide if to use a red card or the prismatic flash. So I went ahead with the EX to get rid of B that way. I wasn't 100% sure if Octo Slash was going to get that guy. So that's why I went after C, because I know I had an A paralyzed from before. So I was like, okay, I'm good. No sleep debuffs coming off of these guys as I am moving into the Tiamats here. So good part here with this is Sephiroth came up first. I got black materia. It's like, all right, awesome. I'm going to be able to break him here with this. Now, I probably should have held off on the Hallowed Bolt here and just let these guys get their turn in for this, because that was one thing that I kept forgetting, is that even if you paralyze them or you do whatever you need to do with Agrias's Brave Molly, I forgot what the phrase is. They don't get to act, it doesn't count, so that's going to catch up on me here. So right now, though, I'm just kind of watching the orbs. Want to make sure. I couldn't remember 100% here the Ringer of Despair buff that was about to fall off, so that's why I wasted the free turn there. So it's like, okay, I got to get the LD to get the turn up. I'm watching A here. I got to make sure that I don't let him tick down too far. So I'm battering everybody up here. A is going to get silenced, so I'm in good shape. And like I said, I really at this point had forgotten that they hadn't had a turn yet. I was thinking that they did with that. So it's like, oh, there's one. Got to bring the Ifrit. So I'm basically bringing Ifrit for this part of the fight to get him through everything. All right, so there is, I put the Brave Molly on there. Sephiroth doing his big old damage, getting the orb back up like I needed, because let me tell you something, with Ultimecia, that's much harder to do. All right, so I was getting Agrias's overhead back up. All right, so at this point, I do know that fixed dice is rolling off, but I'm going to hold off and I'm going to wait for this, because I wanted to really make sure I had enough of these for the tail end, because that's where I always was running into problems with Ultimecia. I wouldn't have any rainbows for later. So that's why you see me. It's like, okay, I'm going to be able to get the orb. It's not going to be an issue here with this. And this is when I came to the realization of, I did not, I forgot that they hadn't actually taken a turn. Faded Molly. That's the name of it. So I said, okay, I got some turns here. they're not going to act. I'm going to be able to whittle them down. I'm not going to stress out. But then I saw Sephiroth's EX here, so I was like, all right, well, let's go ahead and break them and get the defenses down right here. That should be able to help take care of that. So like I said, now it's a waiting game. What do I want to do here? So I was actually trying to break them out of order to try to get them a turn, because I will freely admit I could not remember initially what was going to happen with HP. I knew it reduced the HP. I thought it was actually going to be 0. So when I saw that Agrias actually attacked it, so I got a hallowed belt up again. As you can see, I was about to jump on. It's like, oh no, don't want to do that. Let's let these guys take their turn. And this is the worst part about it, is because it's like, okay, I got the Jetfire. Was that Heat? I think is the name of it. So I'm thinking to myself, all right. So I went with the attack boost up here to get that thing off of Sephiroth, so I could get B, because I wanted to try to break them together, which is why I go with Scintilla again, just to refresh the gold debuff and go from there. So one more prismatic flash. Like I said, I was kind of holding off on the rainbows for now until I saw Setzer kind of getting close with that, and I'm just going to pump out as much damage as I can with Sephiroth here, even though I know he can't. Without the rainbows, it's rough. So then I take another burn in the face. And so thankfully the Paralyze only hit Setzer, because that was the one that I'd forgotten. So now I'm in good shape. Here's your Hallowed Bolt. I hope you enjoyed your last action there. That'll take care of that. All right, Setzer's down to 1 HP. But Heat's gone. Paralyze is gone. All right, so, yep. Sephiroth's down. And I can't remember which one I did here. I don't think I did. Yeah, so I did Octo Slash again on A, just because I think there was such a huge imbalance with that. All right, so now it's time to start. There we go. So now everybody's got burn off of, or heat, excuse me. Heat's off of them. Let's get everybody some HP. Help out right there. Faded Molly. Let's confuse them. So like I said, big thing is these guys not allowed to act. There we go. There's a dive bomb. Trying to time to put all that together. Black materia one time, just basically to get the free turn and restore some buffs. A can't attack. B can't do anything. All right, Agrias. Keep healing. Let's start using those paralyzes. That's what I was actually kind of annoyed here, because I was like, oh, of course it would come back here. So now they're going to end up getting broken out of order, and I'm not able to push them back and get any extra turns here. So Octa Slash again with the rainbows. Massive damage. Right now, like I said, just trying to get them down under, get them down and get that orb back up just a little bit quicker. Right now I'm debating whether or not to bring in Kurisame's debuff. I wasn't 100% sure if I wanted to do it here or not. So as you can see, I'm throwing him on there because I was really worried that they might take too many turns and I might not get them both to 5 before I wanted to bring Sephiroth's Burst in for this. Got lucky here. So I decided what I was looking at here is I could get Faded Molly back up. Because when I looked at it, B was going to go behind Agrias. I could red card A, get him behind Agrias, so this way I had Faded Molly back up. So I could confuse these guys again and basically stun lock them. But this is where I was sitting. It's like, ooh, do I go with the Hallowed Bolt? And so it was like, ooh, it's back up. So I went ahead and threw that one back on him in order to save Faded Molly, because I was looking at my turn order and it was like, I should be able to break them, which I was able to do here with this. So, like I said, at this point, I'm debating whether or not to burst. So I decided to hold off here because I was like, I'm going to be able to cause a lot of damage, get these guys down. So that's going to activate that one. I'm going to go after A here with the Prismatic Flash. And so what I decided to do here, because Sephiroth's EX is up, I'm going to go ahead and run the EX here to get the free turn when I come back, so that I'm going to be able to carry the free turn into the burst. That's the idea that I actually go through here with this. So right now, Agrias is going to come up. Again, I was debating whether or not to use the paralyze, but I was like, okay. And I was also wondering, ooh, I need to get, the fire enchant up. So here comes Sage Fire from Ignis. So I'm going to be able, I wanted to be able to bump this orb up as high as I could. So there's Faded Molly. They're confused. They're not going to get the turn here. I'm in good shape. I'm figuring I'm going to be able to get Agrias behind them here in a minute, which is going to be able to turn out all right with myself, because I'm going to maximize Kurosami's debuff very quickly and replace that. And I don't remember. Yeah, here we go. So I'm going to give him the rainbows one more time before we're going in to make sure Sephiroth's good and got him ready to go. So again, I'm going to hold the free turn. I'm going to go with Iroha's call ability, which will carry me through the burst with extra brave with each one. So as you can see, here we go. Burst and trying to start smashing Octoslash. Or Octoslash. I say that wrong all the time. So that's a good one. And I'm going to tell you what, boy, these guys start losing health unlike anything once you when you hit them with Octoslash. It was ridiculous. So here he comes again for... All right, I did Scintilla, so here's going to come the EX so I can get another free Octoslash in behind it and hit each one of them. And boy, I'm going to tell you, as soon as that went after B first, because I'm going to get the launch with a full battery on everybody, and this just rips him down. I get the shield up, so A is not as cool, but I'm going to be able to break him and just keep shoving him back with this. So the shield is quite rough. I was actually surprised I got 400k almost off of that HP shield that I did. It really took A down with that. So the good part here with Sephiroth and this burst effect really lets me neutralize their turns here with that. So my orb count is huge. I've got Ignis's call, so I've got fire enchant. I'm going to be able to keep pumping the orb up as much as possible. At this point, it's just mainly AoE attacks as much as I can. Get these shields out of here because I really don't have anything. I decided I was going to wait until after Sephiroth's burst effect went off to bring X-Death in. But as I kept kind of waiting around and deciding, I decided I didn't even want to bring X-Death in. So he really wasn't necessary. Now, I was a little worried about skills here, but again, I'm going for the double breaks as much as I can with what we have. Don't remember. I think at this point, I believe I've got... Yeah, because I noticed Sephiroth didn't have the dive bomb in, or fixed dice, so that pushed me up a little bit more. So I was in pretty good shape here. And the idea, just pushing back, and just use every tool in the toolbox I got with this. So actually, I should have held on to this. I wasn't thinking I was going to be able to get a Faded Molly on him a little bit later with the Divine Ruination. I kind of shot myself in the foot there. They already had. They weren't going to be able to work at that one. So I'm coming in here on the last of it. Sephiroth's up, and I kind of look at it. It's like 13. And at this point, I'm like, do I really need X-Death? So like I said, I wanted to bring X-Death for Sephiroth, but I was debating bringing him in for Setzer just to get the extra damage. But I had plenty of room on the orbs. So I was like, just keep pumping damage. Pump damage as much as I can here. And then push these guys back as much as I can. With everything we're doing. Did I do something stupid here? Because, yeah, okay, so this was the one I was like, kind of I kicked myself here. I think I actually turned out all right in the long run. I didn't want to use that last Octoslash. I should have went ahead and just did the fervent blow, and that would have given me a bunch of them here as well. The divine ruination going to be taken care of here, so that's why I made sure I had the faded molly back up here in case I needed it. So I used it there for that last one to get him in. I knew, or I saw that B lost all of his debuffs. He was going to act next turn. A, I was like, okay, A is good. I got to be able to look at faded molly. Now I had the freebie here. I go after B in order to rip him up, and you can see lost about 5% of the health. So at this point, it's like, oh, faded molly right now. Get that thing in. I'm still good on the orb. I'm figuring I got this. Going to be in good shape. I wasn't too worried about A, but I went ahead and fervent blow to try to get rid of him. And it's like, oh, I still had B. That was my mistake. I was like, all right, I'm going to overkill that and be done with it. And so there we go. That is my first TCC challenge that I have been able to complete. I actually wonder if I could have pulled that off without needing the burst. It wasn't a big necessity. So I'm pretty proud of myself. Pretty cool. So if this has been helpful for you, please feel free to comment, or if you have any criticisms or any commentary or anything to help improve my commentary, I appreciate it. Thank you for watching. I enjoyed it. Thank you.